Ravens fan, if there's one thing that's crystal clear after the loss to the Steelers, it's that we've got a big problem on our hands. The team fought hard, but something isn't right, and it's costing us in crucial games. We're talking about an issue that's bigger than a single game mistake. It's been happening repeatedly, and if it's not fixed soon, it could ruin our chances at the AFC North title and even impact our playoff. And yes, it has a name, the problem with Justin Tucker. This isn't just a simple error. We're talking about one of the greatest kickers in NFL history, who in this game missed key opportunities. Stay with us until the end to understand how this mistake can affect our season and what the Ravens need to do to fix it before it's too late. Go Ravens! Justin Tucker is the player who's always been a pillar for the Ravens. When he steps onto the field for a kick, you feel like the points are guaranteed. But against the Steelers, we saw something out of the ordinary. He missed 2 kicks in the first quarter, one from 47 yards and another from 50, both going wide left. Those lost points made all the difference since the game ended with just a 2-point difference. This was the first time since 2018 that Tucker missed 2 kicks in a game, which shows just how rare and concerning this is. The problem is these mistakes aren't isolated. This season, Tucker has missed 6 kicks out of 22 attempts, surpassing the total missed kicks from last year, and just one away from matching the worst performance of his career. It's a shock, considering we're talking about a kicker who is almost automatic in any situation. These slip-ups, especially in tight games like this one against Pittsburgh, put extra pressure not only on him, but on the entire team, who rely on his precision to secure victories in crucial moments. With a tough stretch of games ahead, the Ravens need the Tucker we all know, cool, precise, and clutch. He can still bounce back, but the team can't ignore that there are other problems besides his performance. Penalties and turnovers continue to weigh down the team's performance, and they can't afford to be an obstacle. The Ravens made plenty of mistakes against the Steelers, and it showed in the final result. There were 12 penalties for a loss of 80 yards, while the Steelers had only 7, losing 45 yards. On top of that, Baltimore had 3 turnovers at crucial moments, 2 fumbles, and an interception in the fourth quarter. These mistakes not only disrupted the rhythm of the team, but also handed 9 points to the opponent, enough to secure Pittsburgh's victory. These errors have been a recurring problem and a major reason for the team's losses this season. What makes it even more frustrating is that when the Ravens manage to avoid these mistakes, they play like one of the best teams in the NFL. But against strong opponents like the Steelers, these slip-ups become impossible to overcome. If Baltimore wants to stay in the hunt for the AFC North title, they need to cut these mistakes out and be more disciplined on the field. These penalties and turnovers aren't just numbers on the scoreboard. They're moments that change the course of a game and can destroy any comeback attempt. When the team is forced to start with an 80-yard disadvantage due to penalties or turns the ball over to the opponent, the pressure increases and the game plan falls apart. Against a team like the Steelers, who don't forgive, these mistakes make it even harder to secure a win. If the Ravens don't fix these issues, their chances of claiming the division title and making a strong playoff run will be compromised. When the pressure is on, the Ravens' offense seems to lose its balance. We saw that clearly again against the Steelers. While Lamar Jackson completed 16 passes for 207 yards and a touchdown, the team couldn't find a consistent rhythm during the game, especially when the score was close. Baltimore's offense tends to become too passive when the game reaches a critical point, which hurts their chances to win. At times like this, maintaining offensive balance is crucial, something the Ravens couldn't do. Part of the issue with the offense also lies in play calling. The team had only 19 rushing attempts compared to 33 passing plays. The running game should have been used more, especially with Derrick Henry in the back. He carried the ball 13 times for 65 yards and a touchdown, but instead of sticking to the ground game, the team leaned more toward a passing strategy. This led to many pass attempts when they should have focused on controlling the clock and being more patient with the run, especially against a tough Pittsburgh. In the end, it resulted in an even more frustrating loss because a bad decision at a crucial moment cost them the chance to tie. With 1:06 left on the clock and a 2-point conversion attempt to tie, Lamar Jackson had to run the ball himself after a poorly executed pass play. The team failed to use Henry in this critical play, and the chance was wasted. However, execution problems in the final moments didn't end there. Well, we're past the halfway point of our video, but I noticed that you haven't liked this video yet. This is very important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, and that way, I'll keep bringing more for you. So go ahead and leave a like on this video. It's free, thanks. Now let's continue. The Ravens have shown they are a talented team, but they frequently make mistakes that weigh heavily against them at the end. In this game against the Steelers, self-inflicted mistakes were evident and cost them dearly. Baltimore committed 12 penalties that resulted in 80 lost yards, while Pittsburgh committed just 7 penalties for 45 yards. These penalties not only delayed the team's progress, but also gave the opponent a crucial strategic advantage, especially in such a tight game. These mistakes show that the Ravens need to be more disciplined if they want success for the rest of the season. Turnovers were another significant negative factor. With 3 giveaways against just 1 by the Steelers, the difference was clear. Fumbles by Derrick Henry and Isaiah Likely, along with an interception in the fourth quarter, turned the game into a nightmare for the Ravens' defense, which watched as the Steelers capitalized on those mistakes to score. Each turnover is a heavy blow, and in close games like this one, there's no room for errors. The ability to hold on to the ball and avoid these mistakes will be vital for future success. If Baltimore wants to overcome Pittsburgh and finish the season with a strong playoff berth, they need to fix these recurring mistakes. Every game from here on out is crucial, and every error could mean the difference between a win and a loss. The real question is, how will the Ravens fix these mistakes before it's too late? After another close loss to the Steelers, it's clear that the Ravens need to make significant adjustments if they want to stay competitive in the AFC North and secure a playoff spot. The loss exposed several areas where Baltimore needs to improve, especially in terms of execution, in key plays, and emotional control under pressure. The team has the ability to compete with the best, but these mistakes, particularly in such important divisional games, can't keep happening. If they don't learn from these errors, their chances of claiming the division title will be different. From a technical standpoint, the running game needs to be prioritized. Derrick Henry showed he can be a valuable weapon, but he was underutilized, which disrupted the offensive balance. Baltimore needs to learn to be more patient on offense and not rush for big passes when the game is tight. A more balanced strategy, combining accurate passes with consistent runs, could be the key to future victories. Additionally, the team needs to improve its discipline on the field by avoiding penalties and turnovers, which often make the difference in close games. Now, Baltimore must look ahead and fix these issues before it's too late. The schedule isn't going to wait, and the level of competition will only get tougher in the weeks to come. The season isn't over, but the margin for error is shrinking. So, Ravens fan, we've seen that the issue with Justin Tucker is more serious than it seemed at first glance. His performance is not at the level we're used to, and when a kicker of his caliber misses crucial kicks, it directly impacts the team's future. But the good news is that Tucker is an experienced professional and knows how to bounce back. The team also needs to address other issues like turnovers and play calling if they want to stay competitive. And do you think Tucker can return to his dominant form before the impact becomes bigger? Let us know in the comments if you believe he can turn things around for the Ravens. Let's discuss this in the comments. If the team can fix these issues now, there's still time to fight for the division and a playoff spot. But the race is getting tighter every week, and the Ravens need to adjust quickly. Let's hope the team finds the answers in the upcoming games.